Welcome to tonight's Tommy TV broadcast. We are here in Rochester for the Central Illinois STEM Fair. My name is Olivia Guerin, and I am joined by Haley Braun and Ben Walmsley. Let's head it over to Ben as he is with our first booth of the night.
All right, I'm here with Mackenzie for our first booth of the day. You have a floor here with your booth. Can you tell me a little bit about what that is and what it does?
Yeah, so the active floor is just like what you'd imagine in the classroom. So how the smart boards are on the screen, our active floor goes all to the floor and is interacted by your feet and movement all on the screen on the floor.
And what all can you put on there? We got butterflies on there now. Is there something that's maybe a little more educational for like the classroom, or is it just kind of this where you interact with it and things will move out of the way?
Yeah, there's all sorts of games on here and content that you can upload as a teacher. So there's like quiz games and the questions will pop up and it's kind of a race to see who can answer it first or who can answer the most right. And it moves you further along in the game. So it's kind of like a video game, but for the floor.
All right, and where could people maybe find this if they wanted to get this for their classroom?
I would check out your learning resources and those learning companies, and Active Inspire is where this product came from.
All right, and how easy is this to set up? Is it just as simple as plugging it in, or is there a program that they need?
Yep, it's simple as plugging it in. There's also a computer aspect of it if you want to go online, and you can pre-make your own games online and upload them on here, but you just turn the projector on, connect to the internet, and you're good to go.
All right, well, thank you for your time here. We'll go ahead and send it over to Haley hopefully with our next interview.
I'm joined here by
Laura Wayman.
And could you tell me a little bit about what your booth is for?
So we're Tommy Photo. We're in Taylorville. We're kind of like the opposite of what Tommy TV is. So we take all the still action shots of all Taylorville events. So our booth has a bunch of our still action shots set up for you to see, and a bunch of our equipment that you can see up here. I'm the vice president external, so we recently have officer roles. I'm external, so I'm the one that speaks to all of our people and everyone outside. This is Sophie. She's our president, so she takes care of a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff and a bunch of our officers at home right now. But we're here today just to show off what we do, and that it's a lot more than just taking a picture and editing and all that stuff. So,
what are the other aspects of just Tommy Photo in general?
So everyone thinks that it's just kind of like taking a picture of a game, but there's a lot of editing that goes into behind it. Today we were learning how to do Photoshop, and that takes a lot. So Photoshop, learning how to edit the pictures, learning how to take out stuff out of the pictures, learning how to put stuff into the pictures, learning how to take some of the banners that we do. So it's more than just taking a picture. It's a lot of editing and a lot of scheduling and a lot of stuff like that.
And what is your favorite part of Tommy Photo, would you say?
My favorite part, besides taking pictures, is that we're a very like family-based organization. We're really a lot of friends, and we just have a lot of fun together.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, I'm here at our next exhibit. We have Ozobots here with Sarah. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what Ozobots are and kind of what they do?
Sure. So Ozobots are a robot. They're actually pretty cool. So Ozobots have sensors built in. They have a line sensor on the bottom so they can follow a line, but they also have color sensors. So on our robots that are on colored lines, you can see what color it's detecting on the top. The robots can also recognize color codes. So we can use some basic codes like this example here where they can go different speeds or they can do fancy moves. And they're a really cool way to introduce computer science and computational thinking for students.
So what does that program sort of look like for their students if we're trying to teach them computer concepts? How easy is it for someone of a young age to use this program?
That's a great question. So I have used Ozobots with as young as pre-K all the way up through high school. So they're really easy to get started. Students can use markers to program. So that's something that most kiddos are really comfortable with. And then as they get more comfortable with drawing the lines and having the robots do the color codes, we can move on to actually block coding and even Python coding. So they're a really cool tool, and I've used them with all ages.
And where could people find this if they wanted to buy this for their class?
So Ozobots are available pretty much through all retailers. You can also order them directly from Ozobot. I actually work with the Learning Technology Center, and we have a lot of programs throughout the state. We have instructional coaches. We have regional ed tech coordinators who can help do trainings and teach teachers how to use them as well.
All right, well, thank you for your time. We're going to send it over to our next booth now.
Thanks, Ben. I'm here with Maria, who is going to tell us a little bit more about their booth called Physics Fun. Can you tell us what is the main purpose of Physics Fun?
Yeah, the main purpose of Physics Fun is to demonstrate the physics principles with some basic little everyday experiments. We have a couple of different things. We have a gyroscope wheel, we have a Newton's cradle, and we also have more over here. This stuff over here is more relating to chemistry. Okay. This, which is a little experiment, when you drop one of these metal wires in the water, the heat in the water causes it to expand. This demonstrates one of the physical principles of chemistry. We also have some other things over here, like this demonstrates the building of compound molecules, and we also have a sink or float station. Some of them you might be surprised, like the bowling ball, it actually floats. And then we just have some other little fun things for the kids to do.
What is the main purpose of Physics Fun and teaching kids physics? What do you strive to teach them or for them to succeed in?
I hope to inspire young kids to fall in love with science. It provides many different career opportunities, and it's really interesting for kids to learn about it. And it's like super helpful in schools teaching, basic science things.
Thank you, Maria. Let's send it back over to Ben with our next booth.
All right, I'm here now with the Illinois Department of Natural Resources. Can you tell me a little bit about what you've got here and kind of what your mission is with your department?
Sure. So I am with the Illinois Department of Natural Resources. My particular job deals with education. So I supply resources and information for teachers. But the whole department allows for hunting and fishing of species inside of Illinois, but also preserving and protecting and conserving different species throughout Illinois. So we have a variety of different things that we work with, and there's a lot more than just that. What I have here with me today is some of our fur-bearing mammal species pelts that students can come and talk and touch. And we also have my radio telemetry equipment here, which is this information right here. So this is the actual receiver and antenna, and this right here is the transmitter. So transmitters are placed on various animals. This one actually is a coyote collar that we have, and the coyote project that we have is called coyotetrack.org, and it's set up for teachers to be able to look at the various coyotes that are within their area where they live, so they can help their students understand how species live, what might impact them, what their home range looks like. So we have a lot of interactive things. But the department does a lot of studies and works with a lot of scientists throughout the state to understand what's going on with the various species we have in Illinois.
All right, thank you very much for your time. Yep, here at the Rochester STEM Fair, we'll send it off to the next booth.
Thanks, Ben. I'm here with Rain. And could you tell me a little about what your booth is for?
Okay, so we're here with Pana High School, and what we do is a whole lot of things. We do 3D printing. We have the physics students doing mousetrap cars, and we also do repair stuff for the Chromebooks. So the 3D printing, the printer's actually going right now, and we also we print multicolor. Like I have this train set here, multicolor printed, and then the physics students get to design their own mousetrap cars and have those printed, and then I've been doing repair technician stuff also for 2 years with those Chromebooks over there. So I get to do those and repair all the Chromebooks for the school.
And how do you get the 3D printed designs onto the 3D printer to get it to print?
So we send it through the computer. Typically, like sometimes we design them ourselves. Like I have a duck, I haven't printed it yet, but I design it myself, and I'll download the file and send it to the computer, and then you can also send it wirelessly now. Like you don't have to put it on the SD card. We used to, but now you can send it just over through the Wi-Fi, so it's super cool. We just get on the computer and send it over, and there it is.
And what do you like about the creativity you get with the 3D printer?
Oh, I love it. I mean, I printed the whole train set there. It's super fun. Like I have so much stuff in my house now, it's almost a little too much, but it's super fun. I think it really brings out the creativity in people. Like I have a lot of people who you wouldn't think would love the 3D printing, but they absolutely love it. It's awesome for them.
Thank you for your time.
All right, I'm now here with the EAA, with aircrafts, correct?
The Experimental Aircraft Association.
All right, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you do and kind of what you have here at the Rochester STEM Fair?
Well, Experimental Aircraft Association was founded in 1953. It's now located in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And one of the programs they've done that is especially geared to youth is called the Young Eagle program. We've flown nearly 2.5 million kids since the program started in 1972. And we happen to have a rally coming up this Saturday right out here at Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport. So folks can go online to youngeagles.org to learn more about the program, and they can go to yeday.org to actually register if they want to go ahead and register their kids to come out Saturday to take a ride. But we also have other opportunities. We are building a radio-controlled airplane. We partner with our friends over at the Radio Control Club, the Sangamon Valley Flyers, and they're helping us build a radio-controlled airplane, and they'll teach the kids that built it how to fly it. We also are actually building an airplane, a real airplane, and we're having kids help us with that. We offer scholarships. We've got 2 kids that are going up to Oshkosh, Wisconsin for a week each to explore the aviation opportunities up at Oshkosh. So it's a wonderful organization. We love having the youth getting involved in aviation because we have a lot of pilot and mechanic shortage. So if they're a mechanic type person, by all means, they'll have a great job opportunity in the next 10, 20 years.
All right. Well, thank you for your time here. We hope people will come out and visit you guys here at the Rochester STEM Fair. But for now, we'll send it off to our next booth across the hall.
Okay, thanks. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ben. I'm here with Ashley at the Memorial Health booth. Ashley, can you please tell us a little bit about your booth?
Yeah, so we're here promoting healthcare occupations with students and families visiting the STEM Fair tonight. We often find that students and families understand healthcare to include physicians, doctors, nurses, but they aren't aware of the 300 different types of healthcare professionals that we actually employ in the industry. We also want to make sure students and families know about all of the higher education institutions that offer training for these programs so that students can become qualified and certified, licensed in the state to practice. In healthcare, we are a growing industry. We're actually the #1 industry for growth for the next 10 years, so lots of job opportunities for students with stable careers, and job outlook is skyrocketing. Healthcare careers also provide excellent wages, so families can be reassured with the fact that students are going into a career where they're going to be able to have a great income.
What do you strive to teach at Memorial Healthcare, and what type of education do you teach, from like physical health to mental health?
Yeah, so we have several different career areas that we promote. Some of the ones that we really try to highlight in our engagements with students are surgical technology, medical assisting, nursing is a big one students are often interested in. We want to make sure that students know about all of our imaging careers like radiology and sonography. If they're interested in our laboratory careers, that they know that the types of degrees and classes that they need to take before they enter and apply to those programs for college.
Thank you, Ashley. Back over to you, Ben.
All right. I'm here with Ben and his educational robots, Botley. So can you tell me a little bit about what these bots do and kind of what makes them, I guess, unique to some of the other ones that you may find?
Yeah, absolutely. So these are designed specifically to teach kids, normally like 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade, about the basics of coding, about how robotics work, kind of at a basic level. So yeah, with these you can kind of tell it to do specific codes, or also the version that's going on right now. Like it just kind of follows whatever line and whatever path you make for it. So a lot of fun stuff for early education regarding robotics. So.
And how can a kid do some of these? I see we've got them following lines here. But you also mentioned before this how they could code it as well. How easy is that program for those kids to use?
Oh, it's so easy. Oh my gosh. We have all these remotes right here. So you just put Botley on a specific mode and give Botley instructions based on these arrows, and it's pretty quick and easy once you get the hang of it. So.
And where could people find where to purchase Botleys if they want to use those in their classroom?
Oh, well, as far as purchasing goes, I know that we get a lot of our resources through the Learning Resources website, but we have a lot of these kinds of robotics and different fun things at Kidsium in Springfield. So, yeah.
Is there anything else special about Botley that you'd like to add about?
Honestly, Botley is just what makes Botley special in my mind is just the fact that Botley is a really easy introduction to robotics and showing that coding isn't hard if you really know if you really have the drive to learn about it. So it's a lot of fun, yeah.
All right, thank you. Yep, we'll send it off to our next booth.
I'm here with Cole Payne, and could you tell me a little bit about what your booth is for?
Yeah, we have a class at our school called Introduction to Robotics. We just have a set of problems we're given, and then we just design, build robots, and then test them. We just have a couple of our robots here that we've just brought to show off, and yeah, we're just kind of proud of the little robots we made.
And what was the maze over here for?
Our latest project we're doing is called the Maze Solver. We all just design little robots, and then we have to code them to solve and move through a maze. But yeah,
And how are you introducing this to the people who visit your booth?
just get them excited about robotics. Maybe show them that maybe it's something they want to do, I guess.
And are there any demonstrations you give them, or do you just teach them how to use the robot?
We're just showing off the robots. Mostly they're just ones they can drive. But I guess they can see the Maze Solver, which is pretty cool, I guess.
And are there any other things that are exciting about robotics?
It's just really fun. Designing, the design process, and then coding and testing is just really interesting. But I really enjoy it.
Thank you for your time. We're not going to set it up.
I'm here at our next booth. Can you tell me a little bit about what you've going on? You've got this video board here, and then you've also got some other stuff going on over here. You want to kind of briefly explain what you got going on here?
Hi, I'm Katie from Two Trees Technologies. We do interactive panels, and we do STEM furniture, STEM blocks, all kinds of stuff. And basically what this is just like an interactive panel that does STEM education lessons that you can touch and you can play with. We sell all of this stuff to the school districts, and it helps the children further their learning and education. So.
And where can people find this if they wanted to use this in their own classroom?
So the teachers need to go through the technology coordinators, and they will get them set up. Almost all of the interactive panels that they have now, they purchased through Two Trees, and we also do like additions to the panels, such as AI. They can put on their panels now for teachers. So we have a lot to offer with the interactive panels.
And how easy is this for someone to get started with? Is there a lot of complicated setup that comes with it?
No, it's really simple. Almost a first grader was just playing with it and can use it. So it goes from levels from pre-K to 8th grade, and it's very kid-friendly.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time.
I'm here with Stella at Circuit Robotics booth. Stella, can you please tell us a little bit more about the robotics you have here tonight?
Our robotics booth is basically just a way for kids to play around with the mechanics that are involved in driving a robot. And we've set up a little obstacle course for them to really get used to the controls, and you get a little prize if you win.
With your booth, what do you strive to teach kids and even adults here tonight? Like, obviously you have robotics, but is there anything else you strive to teach them?
I think we're really just trying to focus on kind of mainly just sparking that interest in robotics and really letting kids just kind of mess around with the mechanics and stuff.
Thank you, Stella. Back over to you, Ben.
Yeah. All right.
Are we doing it right now?
Yes.
Oh, what are you going to ask me? Hang on.
It's all right. I'm here with Springfield Clinic. Just start off with kind of what you guys do at your clinic and here at your booth as well.
So we're Springfield Clinic Physical Therapy, real rehab service. So we have physical therapy, occupational therapy. Here today, I just have some basic things set up that we would do, like for agility, like for if we have an athlete that's hurt. We would do agility. I've got a body blade, which is something we'd use for shoulder pain for maybe an thrower or an injury from surgery. Just kind of a lot of different things. We got some models of the knee and shoulder, which we do a ton of joint work with when we treat patients. So, yeah.
And how I guess simple is it for people to kind of get back, or how difficult is it for someone to come back after a surgery to get back into that condition that they once were at?
So it's going to depend on the type of surgery and what they had done, but that's kind of our job, is regardless of what they had, to get them back to their full function. So,
what can people expect when they're doing their physical therapy?
As a patient, we're going to make them work out. We're not going to kill them, but we're going to make them work on strength and balance potentially. And again, finding where they're weak or where they have issues and addressing those issues.
All right. That's all I got for you. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm here with Isha, and what was a little bit about? Could you tell me a little bit what your booth is for?
Yes, so we are Abe Robotics, and we are a district-wide community team for first robotics competition. We're comprised of 3 high schools in our District 186, Springfield High School, Lanford High School, and Southeast. And we build a working robot to complete missions across the field for the competition. So yeah.
And then, was there any extra creative aspect you like about the robotics?
Yes, a lot of people kind of have a presumption that robotics is just coding, just building, but we also have a lot of social media aspects and business aspects to promote our team and get sponsors and everything.
And then what would you say is your favorite part about robotics?
I think my favorite part is definitely all the aspects of it, because I'm a builder, but I learned a little bit of coding on the way, and I also started our social media account on Instagram, and so I learned a lot of different parts that were integral to our team.
And then how are you introducing robotics to some of the people who visit your booth?
We are letting them demo our robot, and we are starting to talk about the FIRST program and how important it is and how people can get involved at any age.
All right, thank you for your time. We're going to send it back over to Ben with the next booth.
I'm here at our next booth. Do you mind telling me a little bit about what you got going on here? Kind of some of the equipment that you've got as well?
This is the kindergarten, first grade booth, and we have the Kinects and some roller coaster Legos we're working with, and these are right out of our STEM room at the EC1 building.
All right, so you said kindergarten and first grade. So how do you see these equipments and some of the other equipments that you use as those children are interacting with them? What is it teaching them for them using it?
So they are looking at the instructions, they're learning how to build all of the pieces, they're putting everything together, and then they get to actually put it into motion and use it.
And how easy is it for them to figure that out? Does it take a while for them to figure that out, or?
Actually, they are really good about looking at the picture and building. Really good fine motors. They're working hard.
Is there any other sort of equipment that they get to use that's maybe not shown here that helps them maybe as they get further along?
So at school, we do like STEM center rotations where every month we set up our STEM room, and there's different areas for them to build and explore. They do all the robots, and so they add on from this. These little ones are actually in pre-K right now, so they're doing it. Yeah.
And what have you seen has been some of the students' favorites to use?
They really like the Kinects. Not many people have been doing the roller coasters yet because it takes a while to build them. But once they get those up and going, but then they can just sit and build little animals with those. It's fun to watch.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time. We're going to send it off to our next booth.
Thanks, Ben. I'm here with Gabby Winkler from the Rochester Science Olympiad. Gabby, can you please tell us a little bit about the Rochester Science Olympiad?
So we go to a regional competition at some college, and usually we get first place. And this year we got fourth because we only had half the team like usual. And this weekend we're going to go to the state competition at U of I and hopefully going to get some first place medals.
Well, I wish you luck. What is the main purpose that you're trying to teach kids? What do you strive to teach them?
Right now we're just trying to get kids to be more involved in the science, because especially when you're little, you kind of just have like a certain science that you're kind of forced to learn. And so we try to have a variety of stuff, since especially with Science Olympiad, we have like biology aspects, chemistry, physics, and everything. So we're just trying to get that out there.
Thank you, Gabby. Back to you, Ben.
Right. I'm here at our next booth. We've got bee robots and some other sort of insect stuff. Do you want to tell me a little bit about what you have going on here at your booth?
Sure. We both teach pre-K, all day fours, and we do insects in our classroom, so we have lots of things that we do with the insects. We raise caterpillars in our classroom, as well as ladybugs, and we have in the past praying mantises. So we teach our kids about that, and the activity we have over, sorry, I keep turning away. The activity we have over there, they color a bug, and then they make it fly. And then we have the life cycles of bugs and some magnetic make butterflies fly. And I'm going to let Chelsea talk about this.
Yes, and then we have some coding bumblebees down here where students can learn how to code so they can make their robot bumblebee go in different directions based on which buttons they push. So.
How easy is it for them to kind of get the hang of this? Is it just as simple as pushing the buttons and having it go? Is there something a little more complex that they need to do?
So it definitely involves counting and figuring out which direction you want your bumblebee to go. So they definitely have to think it through and then be able to plan how they want their bumblebee to move.
And in terms of the raising caterpillars and ladybugs, how long do you guys have those throughout the school year?
We usually get them after after spring break because they hatch in about 2 weeks. They go up to become chrysalises, and then they, I am totally stumbling here, sorry. Then they become butterflies. The ladybug larva takes a little bit longer, and so the praying mantises. So we have the last 8 weeks of school or so. We have that, and then we release them out into nature. And so it's pretty cool. The kids love it.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for your time. We're going to send it off to our next booth at the other end of the hall.
I'm here with Austin, and would you mind telling me a little bit what this is for?
We are currently selling soaps for a fundraiser. All the proceeds go to making even more soap for Vocational Skills 1.
And what are some of the different types of soap that you sell here?
We sell soaps of all kinds of varieties, from charcoal to shea, from rosemary to mint.
And then what are some of the benefits, and what are Vocational Skills 1? What is that class for?
Vocational Skills is to help people get ready for the real world, such as cashier work, plumbing, and such.
And then are there any extra benefits to the types of soap that you create?
All the proceeds go back to making more soap for the community, thus perpetuating the cycle, while also helping us a little bit in the long run.
What were some of the parts you like about the soap making for the fundraising?
We're allowed to make our own ideas. These two in particular were my own ideas. With a charcoal soap with a little eraser stuck out of it, and just some plain molds to make.
And what is an extra part you like about the creative factor in this?
It's just limitless creativity. She let us do basically whatever we wanted, and so we did.
Thank you for your time. We're going to send it back over to our next booth.
All right, I'm here now with the second and third grade booth, and they have Dash robots. Do you want to tell me a little bit about what the Dash robots are?
Yeah, so these are our Dash robots, and we use them during our STEM time with Miss Tinder. Our classes have used them about once so far this year, and we hope to use them a little bit more. But they're fun. They go along with a little app, and the kids get to kind of code and move them. So it's really fun learning for the kids.
Yeah, it's just a great introduction to STEM and coding and building confidence in STEM and computers and all that. And it's a fun way to do it. So.
And you can add a little bit to it too. Sometimes we do battle bots where we hook up balloons and they can try to poke them and destroy each other's robots. So it's a fun learning experience for the kids and a good way to work together as a team.
How easy is it for them to kind of get the hang of these robots with the coding? Is it difficult for them, or is it fairly simple?
There are some really simple ways of doing it, and there can be more challenging ways as well. There's ones where they have to make a path, and the robot has to follow the path, and then the most simple way they're doing it right now is they're just using their finger on the app to just navigate the robot. So it can be as simple or as challenging as we want it to be.
Yeah, it's fun to see some of the kids pick it up so quick. And 5 years old, and they're already moving around quicker than I can. So, yeah.
All right. All right, well, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you guys very much for your time. We're going to send it back to our talent at the other side of the Rochester STEM Fair.
Thanks, Ben. I'm here with Sarah from the Taylorville STEM booth. Sarah, can you tell us a little bit more about what your booth is striving to do?
So we're an 8th grade class, and this is computer science, and we are learning how to take these microbits and program them and use code like this, block coding, and all sorts of different stuff. And our final project was to take everything we learned in this class and produce a security system. So most of us chose a donut safe, and here, I'll show you how it works. So we used a pressure sensor. So if you want to go ahead and take that donut, just take the donuts off. Yep, nice off. And there you go. See, it lights up and it makes small noise. And it secures, like detects that it's been stolen, and that was, we used microbits, and if you want to show it here, so we have microbit and wires and all sorts of things that we had to come up with on our own. We had to find all the blocks and put it together on our own. We had to make the stuff on our own. It was a lot of on our own stuff, and we really had to do new things, work together, debug, which is like finding the problem and fixing it. And it was really all sorts of new stuff. So yeah.
Your experiments are very interesting and amazing. Thank you, Sarah. Let's send it back over to Ben.
I'm here with some Lincoln Junior High School students that are here at the Rochester STEM Fair as well. Can you guys tell me a little bit about what you got going on at your table? It looks like we've got some cars and some other paper models as well.
So the papers are food trucks. We designed those in class. We had a blueprint, what we were going to make them, and then we got paper to cut out, and we had to like glue and tape the stuff inside of the food trucks. The food trucks were fun, but the bridges at the end, they were probably the best project we did. We had to blueprint our design, and we had a limited amount of money to use. And we stress test by hanging a tub through the middle of our bridge, and we put like big science textbooks in it, and whoever's could hold the most won. So the cars were designed by the 8th graders, but take it for this one example. The point was we put an egg in here, and the car had to like hit a wall, and the egg had to survive. And so this one survived. It like barely hit the wall, but yeah, it was just really fun.
What's been your guys' favorite part of this class?
Probably building the bridges.
Bridges, or we did parachutes to protect an egg. So it was really fun.
All right, well, thank you guys for your time. Glad to have you here at the Rochester STEM Fair, and appreciate you guys interviewing with me as well. All right.
All right. I'm here with.
My name is Jim Grant.
And could you tell me a little bit about what your booth is for?
Sure. I represent Illinois Science Olympiad and Science Olympiad, which is a national organization, and I serve on the Illinois Science Olympiad State Executive Board. And I'm here. I recently retired as a teacher, and we're trying to build interest in the central part of Illinois and southern Illinois.
And how are you introducing this to the people who visit your booth?
So, Science Olympiad, we have events in every area of science, from technology and engineering to physics and chemistry. And so I kind of asked their interest in, have they heard of Science Olympiad before? Have they, maybe they did it. I had one teacher here that did it when she was in middle school. So we talk about the different areas of science and the competition, and it's what it does for students. And that's the main focus, is what we offer students.
And what is the part you like about the Science Olympiad?
I've done it for almost 30 years, and I coached it in middle school, and the number of students that I can say that it positively affected their lives and improved their lives, and they found their voice, and the world was their oyster after that. So that's why we do it.
Thank you for your time.
It's my pleasure.
We're going to send it over to our next booth.
Here with more Lincoln Junior High School students, this time with 5th grade STEAM. Why don't you guys tell me about what you guys have going on here? We got, looks like a fan and a windmill. Tell me a little bit about what went into this project.
All right, so a couple months ago, in STEAM, we began working on wind turbines, and we were making blades to make it work, and we've been making a lot of electricity with it, and it's been working quite well. So.
Well, one of our teams got to go to Worlds, but they couldn't get to there, so they got to go to Champions, but they didn't get to go to Worlds because they couldn't get to there because all of them got denied. Like, they were able to go, but their parents wouldn't drive them and stuff. all of this, like most of our teams have got to competition, but this year we haven't got to go to competition because they got canceled because of the snowstorms and all of that.
What have been your guys' favorite parts?
For me, probably like finding the design and like working with their team members to find out stuff to do.
I agree with her.
Well, thank you guys very much for letting me talk to you guys about this. It's a very interesting design, especially for your age level. But for now, we'll send it back over to the other side of the hall for our next booth.
Thanks, Ben. I'm here with Dr. Kyle at the Millikan University booth. Dr. Kyle, can you please tell us a little bit more about the college and what the college provides?
Yeah, so I'm visiting from Millikan University in Decatur, Illinois. I teach chemistry. I'm an analytical chemist, actually, at Millikan. And we've got a number of STEM degrees. So chemistry, physics, biochemistry, engineering science, mathematics, computer science, and of course biology as well.
Can you tell us how big Millikan University is, like how far it strives out all throughout like the states, all throughout Illinois?
Yeah, so at Millikan we have about 1,500 students, so we have relatively small class sizes. So for example, in our first year general chemistry and general biology classes, typically 30 to 40 students max, and then as you move up to sophomore, junior, senior year, 10 to 15 students in each class. So a lot of one-on-one interaction with faculty members.
What is your most popular class and why do you think it is?
Well, my most popular class is one of my senior level classes called Instrumental Analysis, where we go out in the community and we do a lot of chemical analysis. So, for example, we might analyze beer from Decatur Brew Works or go to Lake Decatur and see what's in the water at Lake Decatur or soil from a local park. And then, of course, research is a favorite of students because they get to explore different projects that might be related to biochemistry or chemistry or physics or biology as well.
Thank you, Dr. Kyle. Back over to you, Ben.
I'm here now with third and fourth grade STEAM with Lincoln. Can you guys tell me a little bit about what you guys have going on at your table?
He has snap circuits and I have Makey controller.
And what is it about the Makey? Can you kind of tell me kind of what it does and what you've been doing with it in your class?
It's like a small little programmer that you can use to like program stuff, but like really super duper easier. And we're just making stuff out of it.
And can you tell me a little bit about what your class is doing?
Basically, our class, we've been doing Makeys for I don't know how long. Basically, it's a very easy process. It's pretty much easier than Makeys. I mean, yeah, and yeah, basically. So we have a bunch of things that you can make. You can make fans. You can make fans that go up. You can make like basically some of the fans can cool you off. I mean, I've tried it. And then there's also speakers. You can make a speaker. And then that's basically what we do for Makeys.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Really enjoy seeing everything that you guys have. It's really interesting, so thank you guys for your time.
I'm here with Scott Searcy. And could you tell me a little bit about what your booth is for?
Oh, my booth is, I'm math, computer science, and engineering, and we're actually demonstrating some basics of programming and showing people how you can program without having to get too deep in the weeds and actually understand how looping and subroutines and other variables and things work. And it's something kids can even do if you do it right. And we're using an ancient thing called Logo that now exists in your web browser. You just go to a website and it works, and you can draw pictures and learn all kinds of techniques of programming without really getting too deep into technicalities or worrying about whether something's supportable or not.
And was there any creative aspect that you're introducing to the people who visit your booth?
Well, I guess there's some creativity in that you can break the code and fix it and then decide do you like the way it was broken, and you can do whatever you want with it. I took something that was a star, and instead of closing the star, I made it where it shifts a little bit each time as it draws each line. So then you have to draw a lot of them so it closes, and eventually it makes what looks like a spirograph donut. So, just creativity in it in a way, but it's more by discovery.
All right. Thank you for your time. We're now going to send it over back to Ben with our next booth.
All right, I'm here now with the Pana Elementary School, and they got a whole bunch of different robots, moving vehicles. You guys want to tell me your names as well as kind of what you guys are doing here?
Hi, I'm Kim Honenkamp. I do K-5 technology.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm Jada. I'm Chloe. And I'm Bailey.
All right, and can you guys kind of explain what you've got here going on with your robots?
So first with these ones, so there's different, like each tile means like a different like movement. So like the green means just go forward, and then like the blue means turn 90-degree angle, and then the pink turn the other way, and then this will just like go like that. And then over there we have bolts and another robot, and you can just drive them around. And like we did a STEM project in class where we rolled a number and you had to move to each number. So basically the bolts, you can change the color of them, like the top of them. There's like a 4x4 color palette that you can choose from, and you just move them around and just have fun with it. And then our last robot over there is the one with the 4 heads, and it's kind of like the bolt, and you just drive it around like the bolt also.
All right, well, I think this is all very interesting, very good to get to you guys as well. Thank you guys very much for your time. We're going to send it over to our other towns on the other side of the facility.
Thanks, Ben. I'm here with Michael from Lincoln Land Community College booth. Michael, can you tell us a little bit more about what Lincoln Land provides?
Sure thing. So here at Lincoln Land, we have our agricultural program, and we have 4 different degree options. We have the Ag Transfer Program, the Agribusiness Management Program, our Horticulture and Cultivation Program, and then we also have our Precision Ag Program. With that, we have a lot of different opportunities for anybody interested in anything ag-related.
What type of classes do you guys teach outside of ag?
So outside of ag at Lincoln Land, we teach a variety of different classes depending on what your major is going to be. And so if you're interested in mathematics, you can take more mathematic-related classes along with English or science. Really, Lincoln Land offers a lot of different classes, which is really, truly an important part of a community college.
I saw that you have your computer here with this drone program. What do you strive to teach with this?
So our drone program is here to excite children into getting into the drone business. The drones are a crucial part in agriculture and upcoming, and really have a great big future with the fields and how we fertilize and how we spread seeds and ultimately how we farm.
Thank you, Michael. Back to you, Ben.
All right, I'm here now with 3rd grade Rochester. They got Lego kits. You guys want to tell me your names and a little bit about what you guys are doing?
Sure. Tell them your name.
Avery Cox.
My name's Mrs. Bollinger.
Maddie Zeidler. Izzy Marley. Amelia Pruitt.
All right, and what are you guys doing here at your booth?
So we have Lego kits that are using a program on the Chromebook, and so the kiddos get to go through a step-by-step process of how to create a design, and then you hook it up, and then you can make it move. So it's really cool. It's interactive.
All right, what has been your guys' favorite part about using this program?
I like the part when you finish and then you get to see it move. I like the assembly part and then when you finish the accomplishment. Like, I really like when you finish the project and then you can code it to move it around how many times you like. I like working with everybody when I'm doing it because it makes it so much easier and it makes it a lot faster, and it's really fun to do it with everybody.
And how easy is it for you guys to do this? Is it challenging you guys, or is it pretty easy?
Pretty easy. Yeah, it's simple.
Okay.
It's challenging for the teacher.
All right. All right, well, thank you guys very much. You guys did an amazing job. Thank you guys very much for your time.
I'm here with Dave. And would you mind telling me a little bit about what your booth is for?
Okay, I'm with Lincoln Land Community College, and we actually teach an aerospace technician program, and we could also call that an aircraft mechanic. So we do an 18-month program. So right out of high school, we take students in, and within a year and a half, they could be working, making maybe $30 to $35 an hour to start. So that part of it's exciting. But really, it's exciting work. We work with interesting people. We work with interesting equipment. I'm here today trying to talk to young people to try and see if I can interest them in flight and in working on mechanics and airplanes and helicopters. They work on balloons and rockets, all kinds of interesting things like that.
And how are you introducing this to the people who visit your booth?
Well, it just depends on their age. If they're real young people, we have one of these little airplane models right here that they can fly, and we're Lincoln Land Community College, so I put a Lincoln head penny in there, and that's what gives it a little bit of momentum. Otherwise, if they're a little older, ask them if they want one of these that they can play with and fly. If they're a little older yet, I've got T-shirts and hats if they're really interested in our program that I give out, and so that kind of gets the ball started.
Thank you for your time.
Oh, you're welcome.
We're going to send it back over to you, Ben.
Ready for you guys. All right, I'm here now with some people that are a little bit closer to home with our Taylorville Robotics. Can you guys tell me about what kind of programs you guys have going on here?
Well, these are the Lego ones. They're made out of Legos and then a few essential things. Back here, and the motor is back here, and it makes this spin. And this controls how fast it spins. Want to see it in action?
Sure. So, did you guys program this?
Yes.
All right, and what about these cars on the floor? I've seen these before.
The different colored tiles make it go differently. The green means go, the yellow means slow down. Blue turns it one way, and then pink turns it another way. Red means stop, and purple means celebrate. And then there's two others, but we're not using them right now.
All right. What has been your guys' favorite program to use?
I like doing the Lego. My favorite is not here right now, but it's called a Finch.
All right, well, thank you guys very much for helping me out. You guys are doing an amazing job. Keep up the good work. Send it off to our next booth.
Thanks, Ben. I'm here with Michael from Illinois Quantum Information Science and Technology. Michael, can you tell us a little bit more about the Illinois Quantum Information Science and Technology Center?
Sure. Thank you. Illinois Quantum Information Science Technology Center, or IQUIS. It's kind of the quantum hub of Illinois when it comes to research or developments within quantum here at the U of I. What I have here is a mechanical wave lab. Essentially, it shows the atomic wave model, which is different from the traditional Bohr model because it talks about electron transitions. So this demo kind of helps shows what that's all about. So essentially, it's about helping kind of build the supercomputers, which is related to quantum. So that's what this is about.
What do you strive to teach with the quantum information that you have here?
Since quantum can seem a bit not necessarily broad, but maybe I would say a tougher subject because it's not readily taught all the time. For this one, it's just kind of about knowing that there's a difference between the traditional Bohr electron and atomic model. I think that's like a kind of a basic, very small quantum lesson. And I kind of just show this example here to kind of give like a chemistry connection to quantum, if you will. So that's kind of basically it. Just show the differences of atoms. That's between the Bohr model and the atomic quantum model.
Thank you, Michael. Back to you, Ben.
I'm here with Cindy at our next booth. Looks like you guys have some Morse code going on. You want to tell us a little bit more about kind of how that works and what they can expect here at your booth?
So this is goes back to the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln, and it was the way that they communicated. There weren't cell phones, telephones, so it was a series of dots and dashes. It's still used today, some in the military, but back then that was the primary means of communication around faster than sending a letter in the mail. So when they come here, they can practice by writing out their names and then they can tap it out on one of our Morse code machines.
So how difficult is it for some of those people, especially some of the kids, to get a hang of that?
We've got papers that have the alphabet because unless you're doing it as a kind of a job all the time, it's not something that's real fluid. It's kind of like having to learn a different language. So it can be a little hard, but we're here to help them.
Do you find that some people are a little bit better at it than others?
The older kids tend to be a little bit better than the younger kids. So, yeah.
But do you still find that everyone enjoys trying that out?
Absolutely. We've had kids and we've had parents trying it out. So, absolutely. Something for everybody.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. Really enjoyed it. Hope you have a good rest of your time here at the Rochester STEM Fair.
Hi, I'm here with
Ashley Keeling.
And would you mind telling me a little bit about what your booth is for?
We were asked to come to show some of the STEM projects that we do in our classes and in our elective classes. So I teach 8th grade science in Pana, and we do a ton of different projects that have to do with STEM and technology, but I integrate it into my content area. And then we also have a lot of projects from like other content areas like social studies, language arts, reading, that do a lot of, they use a lot of our tech.
All right, and how are you introducing this to people who visit?
Usually it's the young children. They really love our indie bots, and they love playing with those, and it's very interactive. We have dominoes, too, that the kids like to set up and knock down, and along with the 3D printed chessboard. That's been a big hit tonight as well.
And is there a creativity aspect to the STEM or any of the other parts you teach?
Oh, yes. Actually, our tractors that we have on display right now, the students have to 3D print those, and they create those. So they do a tractor pull, and they have to pull those with our bolts, and they go through that whole creation process.
And what is the part you like about teaching 8th grade science and all the extra parts you add into that?
It's the extra parts. It's the learning, seeing those light bulbs click for those students and making them engaged in what we're learning and talking about.
Thank you for your time.
I'm here with our next booth. Looks like we've got a little flotation sort of experiment. You want to tell me a little bit about that and some of the other stuff that you got going on at your table?
Absolutely. So today we're making little boats or rafts with foil and then testing out their buoyancy with pennies and little ducks. So I'm here with Lincoln Land and our College for Kids. We have over 60 camps this summer here in Springfield and in Jacksonville.
What can people expect from doing this experiment? What can they expect to learn from doing it?
Buoyancy. So that's just having fun, seeing how things float. Yeah, it's just a little fun activity.
All right, what else do you have going on at Lincoln Land that maybe some other people can get interested or excited about?
Perfect. We have all kinds of community education opportunities besides all of our lovely degrees.
Okay. And if someone were wanting to find out some more information about Lincoln Land, where would they go to find that?
You go to llcc.edu, has all of our opportunities.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time. We're going to send it over to our other people at the other side of the hall. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ben. I'm here with Jane at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Jane, can you please explain to us what the University of Wisconsin-Madison teaches?
Absolutely. So I'm representing the College of Agricultural and Life Sciences, or CALS, and we study science as it relates to plants, humans, animals, and food. So all kinds of different types of science. If you're interested in maybe becoming a veterinarian or a doctor, or you love the environment, we have all those majors.
Would you like to show us a few things you have here at your booth and explain them?
Absolutely. Yes, thank you. So we brought some information about the college. We brought some stickers, some keychains, Bucky Badger stickers, our mascot, maybe for the little kids. And also, since our students are in food science and biochemistry, we brought some food. So we have cheese and we have meat that our students make on campus. We have dairy cows or Holsteins on campus. We milk them and then we make cheese and also ice cream, but ice cream's harder to travel with.
What is your most popular class, and why do you think it is your most popular class?
Well, in terms of the class that most students take, it'd probably be a biology class, Introduction to Biology. And I think it's because it's such a foundation to all of the different sciences that you can study.
Thank you, Jane. Back to you, Ben.
here now with the Illinois State Museum. We've got a bunch of different stuff here. Can you explain to me kind of what you've got here going on at your booth?
Sure thing. So, I've brought a collection of natural history specimens that people can come up and touch. So, for example, right here in center stage, I've got a replica, so a copy of a real mastodon jaw. And I also have real, authentic fossils that are 13,000 years old from a mastodon and from a woolly mammoth. I've also brought some replicas from a Smilodon. This is a saber-toothed cat, or also called a saber-toothed tiger. We have a beaver pelt right here. And if you look over here, I've got frog and bat skeletons. I've got a shark jaw and a replica skull from a giant ground sloth.
All right. What can people expect if they come to the Illinois State Museum? Can they see more things like this, or is there other things that they can expect as well?
Absolutely. So they can see more of this, way more natural history specimens, as well as exhibits on the Illinois art and Illinois history. So we just installed a new art exhibit in the lower level just for kids. We also have a play museum, and importantly, we are totally free.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I'd definitely love to see some of this myself. I love some of this more natural history stuff as well. So thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us as well.
Very happy to be here. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
I'm here with Dr. Todd Oberg. Could you tell me a little bit about what you brought this here for?
I'm here representing the Illinois College Teacher Preparation Program, particularly the programs of math and biology. We're trying to recruit teachers to go into teaching middle school and high school math and biology.
And how are you introducing this to the people who visit your booth?
Mostly using the posters on the sides here as well as the PowerPoint slides, just trying to promote the benefits of teaching, that salaries are actually fairly competitive. You're guaranteed a pension. You're also guaranteed health benefits and stuff, and just trying to talk to people and encourage them to look into teaching as a career.
And then, what were some of the things you're handing out to try and convince people to actually look into this?
We have flyers to pass out. We also have information about the Golden Apple Scholar Program, which Illinois residents can apply to help pay for becoming a teacher. We've got pens that advertise the program as well.
And then, what are some of your favorite parts about what you do?
My favorite part is actually working with the teachers themselves, the pre-service teachers, and watching them grow into actual teachers to take over, the classroom themselves.
And then, what are some of the extra benefits you can get from teaching?
Well, one of the big ones is you are guaranteed a pension, so you have a retirement you're paying for. You also have health benefits, medical benefits. You do have time off during the summers that you can choose what you want to do, whether it's extra work to pay for additional expenses, or basically just take time off to recuperate or do new planning. And you also have opportunities to take during the day to actually go do things that most other people may not.
Thank you for your time. Back over to you, Ben.
I'm here with our next booth here. We've got a bunch of 3D printed stuff. Do you want to tell me a little bit about what you got going on, kind of what you guys do?
So we're the Illinois Assistive Technology Program, and we specialize in designing and fabricating different assistive technologies for anyone across the state of Illinois. We're a nonprofit, so we serve every Illinois resident free of charge. The only requirement for our program is to have a need for the device that we're making. And we don't get too specific with the need, just someone needs to have a need for it. So on our printer, we're currently printing 2 flipper clippers, which is a device that allows someone with one hand to cut their fingernails. So it lays down flat on a table, and you line your finger up and you press down, and then it cuts your fingernails for you. We have a bunch of different assistive technologies that we've designed at our booth, ranging from simple aids to daily living, like a bottle opener, to something more advanced, like a non-medical grade prosthetic limb that we did for a local school kid who wanted to carry a lunch tray by himself.
What can people do if they maybe have a need and want to reach out to you for help?
So we have a website. It is makers.iltech.org. And on our website, we have every product we have listed for download. So if someone has their own 3D printer, they can download the files themselves and print it at home. But you can also request a device from our inventory, and we'll ship it out to you free of charge.
What has been some of the most interesting stuff that you've had to make for someone?
The most interesting thing that we've made would probably be our non-medical grade prosthetic, or we did a blacksmithing prosthetic for someone who was born with a limb difference. So it just attaches to their arm and has a hammer on the end of it so they can blacksmith.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. Been very, very good to learn about this. Thank you.
Thanks, Ben. I'm here with John Martin from Star Parties. Mr. Martin, can you please tell me a little bit more about Star Parties?
Yes, so Star Parties are at UIS. We like to have people out to share the night sky. And we do most of them in the fall. Our main events are in the fall between September and October in Friday nights from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Or we did a couple in the spring, or we have a couple at Lincoln Memorial Garden this summer, one on May 3rd for Astronomy Day, and one on August 12th for the Perseid meteor shower. And we just like to have people out to look through telescopes, look at the night sky, ask questions, and enjoy just some astronomy. Yeah.
What do you strive to teach kids who come to these?
Well, today I have a little exhibit to teach them a little bit about spectroscopy and how we know about the stars and what they're made of, even when we can't touch them, just from their light. But I like to come just to share my love for astronomy and share with everybody else who loves astronomy and meet people like you and other people that are interested, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Back over to you, Ben.
About what you got going on at your booth? Can I talk to you about what you have going on at your booth?
Sure. Solar safety field, and wrap it around the front of the jacket.
All right. All right, I'm here at our next booth. Do you want to tell me a little bit about what you have going on with your booth?
It's the Sangamon Valley RC Flyers. We fly remote control airplanes, jets, and helis.
All right, and what kind of is the purpose of you guys doing this? Is it just for recreation, or does it serve some other purpose?
It's a hobby. It's a high-end hobby, and it's for recreation, and it teaches young kids about aviation.
All right, so how can young kids get involved in this if they want to fly one for themselves?
Our field is not far from here, and they can reach me or our Facebook page, and we can get them up in the air.
Okay. How simple do you find kids being able to pick up some of this stuff?
Well, it's some of us has the hobby since we were small. So it's a learning curve when you were young up to when you grow old. So it's not an easy hobby, but it's a very enjoyable hobby.
Okay. What do you find is some of the people's favorite aircrafts to use? The helicopters or some more of the planes?
They were more interested in the planes, because you started with trainer planes, then you move up to jets. So I fly jets, and it's the most difficult thing to fly.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it.
I'm here with Mason. Could you tell me a little about what this booth is for?
Well, it's for my robotics class, Mr. Brown's class in Glenwood Middle School. We make lots of different things out of cardboard or robotics pieces. We basically make different things depending on the lessons. Like we've made cardboard boats for cardboard boat regatta. We made games. We've made shoes all out of cardboard, but we also made like cars and many I can't speak. Many different robots, but like it really most of the time he gives us a basic idea and basically just says do whatever you want. Like for one of the file projects, he was like just builds something that regards to all the different lessons we've done in the past, and like people just built whatever they wanted to build. So pretty much you just build. There's sometimes tiny like structure where you have to build a certain thing. Other times you just build whatever you want.
And what were some of these other projects that you did?
One time we built like cars. We made wagons to like hold stuff to like move. Other times, one of them was the shoes we made for like our school library to show off, to sort of bring more people to view our class.
Thank you for your time, Mason. Back over to you, Ben.
All right, I'm here at our next booth. Do you want to tell me a little bit about what your organization does and what they have here at the Rochester STEM Fair?
Absolutely. This is Illinois Odyssey of the Mind. We are part of a international group of Odyssey of the Mind, where it's a creative thinking, problem-solving competition for kids from kindergarten all the way up through high school. And there are a number of different problems. There's 5 different problems that the teams can perform in. There's a technical problem, a vehicle problem, and then performance problems. And the kids they have to build all of their own props and sets, write their own scripts, basically do everything themselves. And then there are competitions where they're judged on being creative.
What do you find has been some of the kids' favorite part about being a part of this program?
Well, a lot of it is the teamwork, getting your friends together and building something, together as a team. Right behind us, they're actually doing another part is called spontaneous, where the team will be put into a room not knowing what's going to happen, and then they are given a problem that they have to solve within 4 or 5 minutes, and that's always just a lot of fun, and the kids really like that.
All right, thank you very much for your time. Sounds like a really good program for you guys.
It's a great program. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ben. I'm here with Noftej. Noftej, can you please tell us the name of your board?
So the name of my board is High Frequency Brussels CC Feed Forward Control and Optimization for Motion Control.
Could you tell us a little bit about your board?
So what my board is kind of about, so in things like 3D printing or laser cutting or just stuff like that, wherever you have to move the angle of something really precisely, you use these things called stepper motors. But they have a lot of issues. Like most of them are because of something called open loop design. So these stepper motors, they use that design and they produce a lot of heat and vibration and noise. So there's another class of motors that are above stepper motors, and they're called servo motors. But the issue with servo motors is that they cost like $200 to $1,000, right? So in this project, as you can see here, I made this kind of motor that looks just like a stepper motor, and it also costs as much as a stepper motor, but it has all the advantages of a servo motor.
Can you tell us a little bit more about like your stepper motor and what type of jobs you can use this with?
So like the main applications will be like packaging, manufacturing, like haptics, robotics in general, stuff like that.
Thank you. Back over to you, Ben.
All right, I'm here with Pleasant Plains Farmingdale Elementary with these 3D printed houses. Can you tell me a little bit about what's going on here with your booth?
I would love to. My third graders are introduced to 3D printing, and so one of their first projects is simply a name tag, but then we move into snowflakes, and this is their final project. It is a 3D printed geometry house. So my requirements for my students, they had to use basic shapes, and they had to keep it within a 3 by 3 by 3 inch size. So they could create any kind of house that they wish to, but as long as they fit my requirements. And then my fourth graders, they designed robot furniture. And I told them they could create any kind of furniture they wished as long as it fit the robot.
All right. Have you seen your students be challenged by this, or do they seem to pick it up pretty easily?
Some of them pick it up really easily, and they take off with it, and they come up with some really creative designs. Other students, they have a little more work that requires for them to practice on it. But most of them, they pick it up eventually.
And how have students enjoyed it so far? Is this something that they enjoy a lot more?
They love creating. Not only do they love creating, but they also love creating something that they can then take home with them.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. I really enjoy looking at this really neat stuff that you guys have going on. So thank you very much.
I'm here with Ansh. Could you tell me a little bit about what your business is for?
About what?
What your booth is for?
So basically, I did this project of sleep apnea to really alert people what it was about and the dangers of it.
And how are you introducing that to your project to the people who visit the booth?
So I'm basically showing them the research behind this and why I'm doing this, because this could really affect people later in life if they don't get it checked out. And it could be potentially life-threatening.
And what did you like about completing this project?
I was able to see what it was and basically alert people of this really bad and potentially life-threatening sleep disorder.
And would you mind telling me a little bit about what some of these factors are?
So basically there are many risk factors of this sleep apnea. So there's older age. If you're a male, you're more likely to get it. And there's basically abnormalities in the mouth, which could end up affecting you and causing like long-term life-threatening dangers.
And then did you work on this project alone, or did you have somebody else help?
I have a partner, but he's right now at track practice, so yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to add about what this was for, or some of the dangers?
No, not really.
Thank you for your time. Back to you, Ben.
All right, I'm here now with our next booth. Do you want to tell me a little bit about what you've got going on here and what you've got going on with your booth?
Sure. We're with the Cub Scouts here in Rochester, but we're actually recruiting for Cub Scouts and Scouting America all across the area. So any area like Taylorville, Rochester, Springfield, anywhere that's interested. Cub Scouts goes from kindergarten to 5th grade, and Scouting America goes all the way up till 18 years old.
What could people expect to gain out of joining this program?
So with Cub Scouts, you're going to learn a lot of things about camping, about taking care of nature, taking care of the wilderness and things like that, camping events, tying knots, things of that nature. When you go on to Scouting America, you're going to learn more about swimming, life-saving, a lot of things that'll get you up to what's called Eagle Scout, which is the top rank you can get.
How many people, on average, make it up to that final Eagle Scout?
Depends on which troop you go to, but usually I'd say about 10 to 20% at most.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add about your program as well?
No, most people know about Scouting America. They've heard about Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts for all the time. It's a very fun activity. The other thing I'd say is it's moved over to co-ed at the Cub Scout level. Most of the troops will have boys and girls. At the Boy Scout or at the Scouting America level, they'll have girl troops and boy troops, separating them. But we do have still boys and girls involved. But the program has stayed the same.
All right, thank you very much. We're gonna send it over to Olivia now with our next booth.
Thanks, Ben. I'm here with Eric from the Second Evaluated Club. Eric, can you tell me a little bit more about what the Second Evaluated Club teaches?
So we're a group that primarily operates amateur radios, which is basically using radios to talk with friends, our neighbors, to other countries around the world, to distant corners of the world from our radios in our homes. So anywhere from a couple miles away to thousands or tens of thousands of miles away. So, and through the process, we're kind of also experimenting with science and technology, because a lot of our radios are operated via computers now, and we can send not only voice, but we can also send data through airwaves without connecting it to things like the internet, and send voice, data, all sorts of stuff around the world. So,
what do you think the most important part about the radios is?
Well, I think it's just a communication thing. It just kind of brings the world a little bit closer. Like I said, we're able to talk to our neighbors all the way out to, Australia, Africa, Asia, from our radio sets, which, we got a sample right here on our table. And that's a pretty cool thing to be able to do without having to go through like internet or phones or anything. So if the phones and stuff ever go down one day, we're still able to talk. We can get that signal out. So part of it is just for, just preparedness and being able to do that. But also it's just a lot of fun to be able to just take a piece of technology, bring this like little antenna up here, sometimes with the wires and stuff, throw it up into a tree or somewhere, get it up, elevated off the ground, and talking to that mic, and then end up talking to somebody else in another continent halfway around the world. And we can do that with these devices, these radios. Plus, there's also a lot of like science knowledge that goes in with it too. So part of that is just kind of learning about the theory and then practicing it with our tools. So.
Thank you, Eric. Back to you, Ben.
I'm here with our next booth. Do you want to tell me a little bit about what you've got going on here with your booth?
Yeah, so my name's Thomas Garvin. I'm with the Air National Guard. I'm actually a recruiter, but I'm here with Sergeant Blake Davis, and he's one of the guys that runs the 3D printer. They do a lot of different things out at the base, but one of the main ones is they're able to actually print off different tools to use on some different machines, some different jet engines that we have out at the base. But yeah, if you guys, if anyone ever wants to come check it out, take a tour of the base, you can give any one of us a call out at the Air National Guard and take a tour and see some of the different machines, some of the different 3D printers and other stuff that we got going on out there.
What makes this 3D printer different than one that you could just buy off of Amazon?
So this one is like a military grade 3D printer. As you see right now, they have some different handouts that we can give today, but like I said, they normally have some different ones that really dial in, that are able to go on inside of jet engines, use different tools, help save money. So they do something with plastic first, and then they're able to use it for like on the metal lathes and stuff later on.
What do you specifically do with the Air National Guard? You said you're a recruiter. Can you go a little more in depth with that?
Yeah, so I'm a recruiter. If you're ever interested, the biggest benefit that we have to offer is we pay 100% college tuition to any state-funded school. Before I was a recruiter, I was a civil engineer, so anything from construction, heavy equipment operating, working with concrete, that's kind of what I did before I was a recruiter. Was able to travel all over the place, do some things like that. But yep, like I said, now I'm a recruiter, so I go to all the different high schools and then have people come take tours of the base and then hopefully give them benefits if they're interested in joining the Air Guard.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you for your time.
You guys all from Taylorville?
Yes.
Here with Craig Griffith. Could you tell me a little bit about what your booth is here for?
We're here presenting Civil Air Patrol as part of the STEM community. One of our programs with our cadets, this is our cadet commander, Lieutenant Colonel Gross. We STEM is part of our cadet program, along with flying, search and rescue, and all the other good things that Civil Air Patrol does.
And how are you introducing this to the people who visit your booth?
Basically, we've got some pamphlets here, plus, I've got 20 plus years in Civil Air Patrol. Everybody else here has got their personal experiences they can relate and tell about all the good things that we do, both mentoring with leadership, mentoring kids, stuff of that nature.
And what do you like about what you're here for today?
I get to watch guys like him go from 12 years old until they go off to college and develop them into tomorrow's leaders.
Thank you for your time. Over to you, Ben.
All right, I'm here with our next booth. Do you want to tell me kind of what you've got going on here, what people can see with your booth?
Yeah, we started just a community-first LEGO League group for 6 through 10-year-olds. So this year they were studying the ocean, and they had to discover a new habitat and a species. So that's what they did, and then they learned how to code. Yeah.
What can people do at this specific booth if they were to come to your booth here at the Rochester STEM Fair?
So we are just kind of showing that this is an option that's available to communities and to families. And then the kids are showing how to code, just some basic coding.
What have you seen as some of the students' favorite parts? Do they prefer the coding, or do they prefer the building a little bit more?
I think that it's pretty equal between the building and the coding. I think the coding is something that's relatively new to this age group, at least it was to our children, but they seem to like both aspects of it.
And what makes this different than some other coding programs?
I honestly can't speak to that. I'm just a parent that decided to start a group, so I don't know anything about any other coding programs.
Okay. Well, thank you regardless, though, for your time. Really enjoyed learning about this.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks, Ben. I'm here with Kirsten from Physiotherapy Group. Kirsten, can you please tell me a little bit about your booth?
Hi, yeah, so we're physiotherapy professionals, and we are a physical therapy clinic over on the west side of Springfield, right across basically from Sam's Club in a big building, a wellness center there. Our booth tonight is highlighting balance and physical therapy. A lot of people don't realize that physical therapists do a lot with balance and balance training. So we brought a bunch of balance toys that we have and we use in the clinic all the time. So everything from a balance board to the BOSU to Blaze Pods, which do balance and agility. So we're here showing off what PTs do as far as balance goes.
Balance for physical therapy is very, very important when people are trying to heal from past. What is the most important part about balance when it comes to healing?
So, balance runs the gamut. I use balance exercises for little children who have, our post-operative ankle, foot, knee surgeries. But I also use a ton of balance for my patients who are over the age of, let's say, about 65, because balance is really important to reduce falls risks, and falls in the elderly are a huge predictor to early death often. So it's really important to have good balance. But for every age group.
Thank you so much for your time. Back over to you, Ben.
Hi, I'm here now with our next booth. Do you want to tell me a little bit about what you've got going on here? It looks like we've got some vinegar and baking powder or baking soda volcanoes.
Yeah, so we're in 4th grade at Rochester Intermediate School, and one of our very first units is about earth science, and so we study volcanoes, shield volcanoes and cone volcanoes. So today we brought out our clay to make homemade volcanoes. So filling up with baking soda and the vinegar and watch the explosions happen.
And what are students learning when taking part of this project?
They're learning a lot about tectonic plates and how the earth is formed, and then also a lot of the earth processes and natural disasters as well. So it's a lot of different things all at the same time.
And whenever they come here, does people get to make their own little miniature volcano and set it off as well?
Absolutely. So each person gets their own individual one, and they get to form it however they want. Again, we say, do you want to make a cone volcano or a shoe volcano, and they go from there.
Are you able to talk a little bit about kind of what makes the volcano explode?
Well, it's that reaction between the baking soda and the vinegar, right? When you put those two together, boom, they make that explosion.
All right, thank you very much for your time. Really enjoyed learning about this. Thank you very much. You too.
I'm here with
Hannah Griffiths.
And could you tell me a little bit about what your booth is for here?
Yeah, so we're here with Illinois River Watch Network, and we are a organization that studies freshwater ecology. So we have a bunch of different animal things that are all from animals that live in the water. So we have some pelts and skulls from like the beaver and a river otter. And then we also have some aquatic insects, so things that live in the water that are bugs, so like dragonflies and leeches and things like that.
And how are you introducing this to the people who visit your booth?
So we're introducing them basically by having them guess what we have. So we have all the pelts and skulls out, and we're asking them to guess what kind of animals they're coming from.
And is there any way you're introducing this to try and get people to go into your field?
Yeah, so we're talking about opportunities that you can get into the ecology field. So working with our organization and doing volunteer programs.
And was there anything else extra you just like about what you do?
Well, I really think it's fun talking to kids and even the adults that are here and showing them about things that they don't really know, because especially the aquatic insect side of this, people don't know anything about the bugs that live in our water. So it's like a whole new world that people haven't even thought about.
Thank you for your time. Back over to you, Ben.
All right, I'm here with our next booth. We're here with the National Weather Service. We've got a Van de Graaff generator and a tornado sort of teaching machine. Do you want to explain a little bit about what some of this stuff does and what it teaches people?
Sure, yeah. The Van de Graaff generator is basically simulates a thunderstorm's development of lightning. Charges separate. In a thunderstorm with ice interaction, this generates charge separation with a belt that's rubbing against brushes down below. When you bring a ball close by, the lightning rod, it's basically teaching you the transfer of electricity between a thunderstorm and a lightning rod nearby, or lightning. So it just shows you the process, and you get to feel a little jolt periodically. So it's kind of fun. It's neat to see lightning in its infancy, so to speak.
And what about the tornado maker? How does that one sort of work?
Sure, yeah. We've got tubes in a circle that have air getting forced down, and the holes in the tubes create a rotation. And then there's a fan in the middle that draws the air up, and we have a little mister just creating mist out of water. So you create that, vapor tube, and the air pulls up, and the air gets rotated and stretched and turns into a tornado. So, and you can adjust the tubes and you can adjust the strength of the updraft and just kind of see what it does to a tornado when it's forming.
Yeah. All right. Thanks very much for talking with us. We'll send it off to our next booth.
Illinois Environmental Protection Agency. Christy, can you tell me a little bit more about your booth?
Absolutely. So we have some hand crank generators that kids are able to turn light bulbs on, and they're part of our curricula units with our energy, how does a bulb light. Then we have a Wimhurst generator that produces static electricity. And then I have aquatic macroinvertebrates that show water quality. They're biological indicators.
Can you tell me a little more about what you teach?
So I teach about the environment, mainly air, land, and water, energy, and how to take care of it, how we can be better stewards of our environment.
What does your class strive to do to experiment with land, water, and anything else?
So we teach them how to take care of it, how not to pollute, how not to conserve, to actually conserve, not conserve. That this is all the water that we have in the world. We're drinking the same water that the dinosaurs drink, so it's so important that we take care of it.
Thank you so much. Back to you, Ben.
Thank you, Olivia. I'm here now with our next booth. Do you mind telling me what your organization is and what you have here at the Rochester STEM Fair?
Yeah, my name's Brett, and I'm from Ball Chatham School District, and we're here highlighting our K-5 STEM curriculum that we do with all K-5 students, and then our after-school program that's for 3rd through 6th graders.
All right, so what are some of these programs that you've got going on at your tables with these robots?
Yeah, so this is our 4th grade table, so it tells us a little bit about our 4th grade curriculum. We use the Spheros, which is a great programming robot. The students also design and 3D print cars, and then we have races that the students compete in, kind of like the Pinewood Derby for Boy Scouts. So kind of have all our different STEM curriculum and kind of products we use with our students.
What have you seen is some of your students' favorite things to work on?
Really, they like all of it because it's a great introduction to programming. We do 3D printing and also video production. Hopefully someday we can have a cool TV program like you guys have. Some of our favorites, though, are after-school programs that we offer free to any student, 3rd through 6th grade, are really popular, and they get to learn robotics and programming.
All right, well, thanks very much for talking with me. Enjoyed learning about it. We'll send it over to Haley now with our next booth.
I'm here with Cameron Wilmert of Lincoln Junior High.
And would you mind telling me a little bit about what your booth is for?
About what?
What your booth is for?
So essentially what we have here is we have our robot. And so what it does is it's programmed to go around this little mat here and complete all of these tasks. And we do this by coding on the computer, and Tim can tell you a little bit more about that.
All right, so on the computer, we have many different types of movements on the code. Our strategy was to just do mistake by mistake and improve upon that mistake until we find the correct code to do all these tasks correctly.
And but that's not all that we have here. We also did an innovation project, as shown by our lovely little poster board here. And our innovation project was you had to come up with a solution to a problem regarding the ocean. And if you're going to want to solve a problem regarding the ocean, you're going to have to get to the ocean first. So what we decided to do is make a submarine. But we wanted to make it a special submarine. So we decided to use the best possible design to make it the best possible submarine you could ever have. Like, it's the most efficient fuel source, it uses the best, hull material, and it just cuts through the water the best. And so what we even did is we made a skit to explain it with, scientists and pirates, and the pirates, capture the scientists and try to get them to give them the plans, because the pirates wanted to get some buried treasure. But what the whole thing is about is we went through the entire engineering design process, which is ask, imagine, plan, create, improve. So we started just by asking the basic question of what we wanted to solve, and then we just ended up go through it step by step, and we even used a 3D printer, and we have these little models back here, starting with that orange one, and then the next and the next. And we based this on the Titanic submarine, which, you know, it's sunk and imploded. So that's what our project's about.
Thank you for your time. Back to you, Ben.
I'm here with our next booth. Do you mind telling me a little bit about what you have going on here?
So these are the Vexco. We use these for 5th grade in Rochester. They're little robotics that they can put together, a bunch of different activities, and then these are Kiva planks that they can use to build towers, mazes, stuff like that.
All right. What have you seen some of the uses for some of this stuff? How creative have some of your students gotten with some of these equipments? How creative have some of your students gotten with some of these equipments?
Great. I mean, some of these, they just kind of make their own stuff with it. Even with the Vexco, there's directions, but I've seen kids make their own robots and just do a bunch of different things with them.
What's been the most complicated thing you've seen made with these?
I would say this one right here, this little, I think it's supposed to be kind of a bug or whatever. They built this today. I think that's probably the most complicated one I've seen so far.
And how easy is it for someone to just pick this up and start going with it and start trying out some new things with it?
I think these are pretty easy. They have online directions that are 3D that kind of walk them step by step what they want. But like I said, our kids will pick them up and just kind of do their own thing with them.
And what are your students learning from all of this?
A lot of teamwork, and then there's some coding that's involved with these as well. So the coding aspect's been nice too.
All right. Thank you guys very much for showing me how all this stuff works. We're going to send it off to our next booth now.
Thanks, Ben. I'm here with Cal from First Lego League competition. Cal, could you tell me a little bit more about your booth?
Yeah, so this is a First Lego League table. Our team is from the Isle School in Springfield, and they participated in the First Lego League competition this year, and they went from qualifiers to the sectional. We couldn't make it to the state, but we as a rookie team are very proud of our achievements. What we see here is basically a Lego table. All the mission models are built out of Legos, and then we have a robot. Robot basically is built out of Legos too, and it has some programming that's Bluetoothed into the robot. So the robot will do some tasks. Go ahead and press it. And as you see, the robot's going to do certain tasks and go back to its home. We have to do all 15 mission models in 2.5 minutes. That's one part of the competition. The second part of the competition is basically to find a real-life problem for the marine life. So one of the problems that we identified is the ghost nets. The ghost nets are the real-life problem where the animals can get stuck and die. So our solution to the problem was coming up with biodegradable nets made out of seaweed. Those biodegradable nets basically degrades in 1 year versus to the plastic nets that takes about 15, 20, 25 years. The another part of the solution, which was we build an app so the fishermen can input coordinates into the app. The coordinates will then get transferred to the NGO database, and they can send the divers to retrieve the nets. And this is the app that we developed, and it's nowhere available in the United States right now.
Thank you so much. Back over to you, Ben.
All right, I'm here now with our next booth. Do you guys want to explain to me what you guys have built here and what the function of it is?
So this is Rube Goldberg. You build a complicated machine to do a simple task, and our task was to open a book. So our theme was Back to the Future. So you want to explain the details, Nora?
Nora? Right. So, I don't know what to say. First, we start off with the catapult, which goes down into the funnel, which go down into the teeter top, basically, that springs the string, and then it hits the hammer, the pulley, The hammer drops, opens up the arm, and then it brings the book open.
It goes down the incline.
All right, and have you guys competed in anything with this?
Yes.
Hey.
4th place in it.
All right, and what do you remember what competition that was?
Was the Leak and Land competition opening the book.
All right, and what have you guys learned from this, and what would you say is your favorite part about doing this project?
My favorite part is probably the car, and what I learned is how you can put junk and you can just make it into anything. My favorite is probably winning 4th place.
My favorite part is probably Doc going down the wire.
My favorite part is probably working together with all of the students in our class to try and make this. I feel like it was a good teamwork activity, and what I've learned is what it takes to be an engineer.
My favorite part was the car.
All right, well, thank you guys very much for this. Congratulations on your 4th place finish. I hope you guys keep on doing well.
I'm here with Ayla. And would you mind telling me a little bit about what your booth is here for?
Yeah, so we are here with the Rochester Public Library District. We are here showcasing several of our STEM and STEAM kits and book bundles. Mostly just showcasing that the library is more than books, but of course the books are to be expected as well.
And how are you introducing some of what the extra things you have at the library to the people who visit your booth?
Yeah, so right now we've got one of our Simple Machines kits open for the kids to kind of explore the pieces. We've printed off a couple of colorful bookmarks just for the little bitties, just to entertain them while older siblings are exploring the kits. Of course, we have our MIP robot out right now. Everyone loves a good robot, right?
Yeah. And what are some of the things you like about the extra STEM part of the library?
So STEM and STEAM in general just ties in the expectation of libraries that we showcase education, but with the kits it makes it more fun for kids of all ages. Parents are just as entertained to see these kits as the kids are. Plus, also with parents, usually what we like to mention is here's a good way to explore these kits as potential educational Christmas or birthday presents further along the line.
Thank you for your time. Over to you, Ben.
To me as well. All right, I'm here now with our next booth, with our next machine. You want to explain to me kind of the steps that makes this machine run?
Mm-hmm. So first, the little wedge goes into the book, and we drop the wedge. The seesaw right there, it will drop. The wedge will hit the lever, the seesaw, and it'll make this go up to make this ball hit the Velcro. This will go down, the ball will go into the hole. This wheel and axle rocket will hit this. After that happens, the book will pull back. The bingo thing will spin. This will fall. That will go up. It'll spin this, and that book will open.
All right, very interesting machine. Thank you very much for explaining it.
Thanks, Ben. I'm here with Stephanie from Illinois Educators Alliance. Stephanie, can you please tell me a little bit about your booth?
Yes, I'd love to. So Illinois Digital Educators Alliance is a nonprofit for educators in any role, and we provide professional learning resources and opportunities for educators. But today, what we're doing is bringing in board games that are STEM-related board games. So you stop by, you play a game, and you see how you apply the principles of physics to building in a board game. So they're quick games, they're fun to learn, they're engaging, and our booth is really helping you enjoy seeing how you can do those STEM principles, and you don't have to be at a technological tool.
What is the most important part that you're trying to teach here? Like with these ladders I see, what are you trying to teach with these?
So all of these games provide an opportunity for someone to test out the principles of like balance, how the pieces that they place and end up impacting another piece. So it's really about those building principles. What are they placing? Where is the weight going to go? So again, it's the science principle of that whole STEAM or STEM process, just in a very different way.
Thank you so much. Back over to you, Ben.
All right, I'm here now with our last booth of the day. Are you able to tell me what you've got going on here?
And so, hi, I'm Jen Newton from Rochester School District, and I'm showcasing our district STEM challenge for this year. we had the students K through 12 build bridges out of Q-tips. They were given at the high school and junior high, they got 100 Q-tips. At the elementary, they got 50 Q-tips. They worked with partners. They got 20 minutes to build the strongest bridge that they could. And then we stacked pennies on the bridges to see who could hold the most pennies.
And what are students learning from taking a part of this?
So, along with cooperation and working together, they're also learning about structures and geometry and what shapes are the strongest when they start to build their bridges.
What's been the most amount of pennies you've seen someone been able to stack on their platform?
Well, tonight, since they only have 50 Q-tips, our highest has been 36 pennies. But when we were doing the challenge with our high schoolers, we had one bridge that held 516 pennies.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add about your little experiment here?
Oh, no, just thank you for coming, and I've enjoyed the opportunity to talk to you.
All right, thank you. We're going to send it over to Haley with some final remarks.
Thank you for joining us here on Tommy TV tonight at the Rochester STEM Fair. We'd like to thank Rochester for hosting this amazing event and for all of the booths who showed up tonight. Have a great night.